I do not know
Oh,
how to code. I didn't grow up coding with these types with CTT in whatever program.
sign into chat. All
Just
messages open in
just when
browser.
you
Oh,
go back to
Jesus.
school, find your teacher and then ask this teacher your question. But no, it's like, oh, you telling me you don't know this? You should know this.
Oh, I guess we can chat. How's that? Welcome to live. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community settings, etc., etc.,
Oh yeah, so
etc.
that means no smoking.
I guess. I mean, I don't think there's rules against that, or
No smoking, no alcohol, no advertisement of
I
porn.
mean, possibly.
Or don't sell children online.
I mean, possibly. Maybe let's go
Don't
here.
sponsor little Timmy. That's a brunette, brown eyes, 4'2".
Hold on, let's
And you
recheck
too can purchase
one more
them. Okay.
thing. Ta-da.
So you know that application on your phone, Pokemon?
Which one?
So the Pokemon where pretty much you on your phone and then you travel parts of New York and then oh look, there's this rare Pokemon.
Pokemon Go?
Yes, Pokemon Go. I have a bad habit now with Sniffy like Pokemon Go. So you know that application on your
So,
phone, Pokemon?
alright, it's working.
Which one?
Okay.
So the Pokemon where pretty much
Okay,
you on your
okay.
phone and then you travel.
Okay. We got
Nice.
it working finally. Okay.
Whoop whoop.
We'll do the intros, then we'll go back to Pokemon Go since we finally got this. Is this? Oh my fucking god! Hold on.
Done it.
So many technicalities. Why do I keep getting right error? Okay. Okay.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Basically, 1 2 3. Hopefully it'll work. Okay. Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Well, this is no, this is the first official live
Oh snap.
YouTube video audio
YouTube. Oh, let me
season
go.
2
Let me get
episode
ready.
of the as we dive into this wonderful see technology and all these technicalities and this and that. Welcome to season 2 as we are now
Woo, we
live
on
on
second season, y'all.
YouTube
We
as we
on,
check. Hopefully the same thing will work. We is
on
live.
YouTube. Getting it. Yeah.
I know. Look, I'm on camera. You're on camera. My fingers on camera. Everybody's on camera. Alrighty. What were you saying about Pokemon Go?
No intro.
Well, we're working on that. We're working on that.
Oh, no.
That's what Dennis is for. He's gonna edit all that into the final package product.
Woohoo.
Now sponsored by Monster Energy. No, we're not.
No.
We're still not sponsored.
Pokemon Go. I was comparing Pokemon Go to the application that I feel like everybody from straight by to even the gays are using, even some celebrities to be not surprising, but surprisingly, Sniffies. So it's like that's kind of like my comparison to Pokemon Go, because with Sniffies you can see who's around the area and only in the radius of the circle, unless of course you pay for the premium package. Then you can check all around the world. But with the initial with the initial check around in the circle, it's kind of like Pokemon Go. It's like you can see which Pokemon's around the area. Just kind of like
it's
It's the what?
the comparison to Sniffies because of all things compare it to. I mean, I see.
It pops up. It's a circle.
And you just been to collect,
And plus you can
information
see
on them.
exactly. And plus you can see like which area is like in Pokemon Go. You know where's the store. So this way you close by. You can buy like Pokeballs and stuff like that. on Sniffies.
You buy
This is like
poppers and
right.
underwears and
Well, possibly maybe if you
harnesses.
find like somebody who's selling that, but you can see like where cruising
Oh my
spots
God.
are on Sniffies. So it's like you're close to a park that does cruising. You're close to a truck stop that does cruising. Who's there right now?
I mean, I see the similarities, but this is of all things you could have compared it to. That's what you decide to compare it to.
Now, mind you, I'm not a fanatic on Pokemon Go. I probably played that with an initial launch for the first 3 months and got tired of it. But kudos to those that follow all the way straight
I
through.
have a love-hate relationship with it. I go back, I leave, I go back, I go leave. Because now they also took Monster Hunter and put it in that same
No
formula.
way.
Monster Hunter now.
Yikes.
So I got back into that. Yay. But yeah. It's okay. Like I said, it's a love-hate. It's one of those things where like I play, then I get bored, then I
Yeah,
don't
for
play.
sure.
I get bored, then I play, then I go back, and then life and work and everything else. And
That part, adulting.
It is not Sniffies though.
Have you
What you?
ever used Sniffies
Get the
before?
fuck out of my head. I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, so have you? Since since you mentioned
Have
it,
you?
I honestly did not know about it.
Mm.
Terry was the one that put me onto it.
That's very interesting.
Yes, I know, Mr. Holier Than Thou.
Yeah.
Jab.
I'm just a contender.
Like Dexter's, you being petty right now? No, he put me onto it. I didn't even know it existed. He mentioned it. He's like, oh, you know, there's another one. Because I don't know. Apparently, he has some kind of moral or ethic dilemma with Jack and Grinder, with the irony, Sniffies. But anyway, apparently he prefers Sniffies better. So he mentioned it, and I didn't know what it was. Then I tried it, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's. I laughed because I said the same thing you said. I'm like, oh, it's like Pokemon Go. Surprise! Like,
Exactly.
it's like, you know, it's. I mean, it's an app. That's all I'm gonna say. It's weird though, because people are a little too loose and people are a little too open and a little too direct for my taste.
Okay.
Excuse me, they just all out like, you know, you want to come fist me and drink my bodily fluids while, you know, 6 men watch us do it. I'm like, whoa, can you buy me dinner? Like, Dan, can I get your name? And then you know how there's that whole anonymous thing to it because like they can send you messages from a blank profile.
Yeah.
So that kind of bothers me too as well. Like it's I know for some people it's kind of kinky and fun.
Of course.
But if I took the time out of my day to spend like, you know, 1 or 2 minutes to put in like 3 pictures, fill in the, you know, appropriate information like highway, what I'm looking for, so on and so forth. Like I'm not entertaining black profiles. I'm not entertaining, you know, you mysteriously, you know, oh, I can't show, like, just go to the park and hook up. Like, go cruising if that's the case. Like, no, we're not doing this. It's 2025. Like, I understand, you know, people have their situations, DL, discreet, whatever the case may be. But if you can't meet me on the same level as I am, then it's not happening at all.
I kind of feel like also as well, it's kind of like the gay aesthetic, if not the gay culture. Especially like, you know, how much we are incredibly obsessed with horror films in general. Like we just love horror movies. Like,
Are we?
I mean, not all, of course, gays are, but for the majority, if you have to take like a roster, like a census, it's like 75% of the gay people are obsessed with horror films. So is this that kind of like
Color for a second.
collar films?
All right, roll apart.
Blue collar world is getting mysterious and anonymous. No, but not surprisingly though. But when it comes to horror, it's like the whole who's the killer from Scream, and it's kind of like in the same sense when you're when somebody anonymously from blank profile saying, hey, you look good, you sexy, is like, oh, I want some of that. So you're like, ooh, who's this mysterious person? Are they catfishing? Are they sexy? Or are they just kind of like, you know, somebody that's kind of like have good intention or maybe bad intentions? It's like, oh, the best ones are the ones that's always mysterious. I don't believe that, of course, but
I can't. Yeah. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, no.
It's kind of like it's sad that even right now, 2025 is like, you still don't want to show your picture because you don't want to be seen out there. You don't
Not
want
even
anybody
that,
to.
but then most of them are ugly, and that's the whole point. Like, listen, I have nothing against you ugly people at all, because I know I'm not a 10, so I'll be the first one looking at me.
I think you're a 10.
I'm like 6. I mean, thank you. Like 6, 7 on a good day, but no, because that's the thing. I'm not taking that risk, and I'm not playing bingo at this point in time. No, sir. You come with what you got from the beginning. We're not doing this. But then that's the other thing. Like I said, a lot of end up being like the 2,000-pound person that I'm like, okay, because you know what? I'll be honest. If you come to me, it's kind of like catfish. I'm glad you said catfishing, because if you come to me and you're 100 from the beginning,
Right.
even though you're not my type, whatever the case may be, I might consider it. Because at least you came to me on an honest tip, and you were, from the beginning, like, this is what I am, this is what I offer. So even though it might not be what I regularly go for, I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. Let's have an interaction, see where it goes, as opposed to all this subterfuge and so on and so forth. And it's like, oh, because that's the other thing. It's like 30 ass pics in like 8 different positions, and I'm like, I done seen everything.
Literally.
I'm like, I see someone bleach last week, and then it's like, oh, okay. Like there was, like I will admit, there was a point in time, maybe when I was younger, like
Okay.
that shit was hot and it used to turn me on, but not anymore. Now it's like, okay, like I have one, you have one. I already seen half the neighborhoods. Like, what is that? Picture of like your butt cheek spread open with your hole sticking out. Like, I seen enough. Like, what else besides that do you have? Like, granted, it is a hookup site and so on and so forth, but where's the rest of you?
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's your body count?
Up until 2025?
Up until 2025.
Jesus Christ. I'm feeling attacked with this question.
Just curiosity.
I feel this question is
because like let's be honest.
I mean, it's not in the thousands.
I mean, but then again, not to say that you out there like that, but then again, when it comes to like the gay hookup culture in general.
I mean, I was gonna say, does that include business or non-business?
Listen, everything.
You gotta consider. I had that phase where I was a sex worker when I was younger. So
exactly.
Do those count or no?
Yes, absolutely, those count positively.
It's not as high as you think it is.
Oh, really?
But
so it's not. So it's in the double digits and not triple.
It's in the triple.
Okay.
But not like high triple.
Okay, so if you had to kind of like,
I mean, because you got to consider from like that 18 to 26 phase, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for a lot of people. Like, you just, whatever comes your way, you do not care. You just go for it. Like, you'll see a tree and you want to hump the tree. At that point.
Give me a number.
It's not in the thousands.
It's not in the thousands, so we're still in the triple digits.
Maybe less than 100.
Less than 100.
Probably.
From 18 to 26.
No, in total, up until 2025.
Up until 2025. So up to 2025, you had less than 100.
Yeah, up until now.
Okay.
For the 44 years of existence I had.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say personally that I started.
Or maybe a little bit over.
I mean, come on, you have to be over 100 at this point.
I know it's more than 2 digits because, like I said, that 18 and 26, going to the village and Adam for Adam. And, but then again, not in my defense, but a good 50% of them weren't even full-on sex. Okay. A lot of it was just like
foreplay.
Yeah, like foreplay
or side activities.
Activity. It wasn't like, topping or bottoming or whatever the case may be. Right. Not that I'm defending myself, but just to add a pure context and the thing we're discussing. Like, half of it was really more just foreplay and side activities than actual topping, bottoming. Now, if we got into that, it's in the double digits, but I sucked more dick than when I got in fucked or fucked. That much I can say.
Okay. Well, when it comes to like, when it comes to bodies, where like did they come, they meet with you, and did they finish and leave? Each individual that had that intercourse, that had that like moment of intimacy with you, did they all finish?
I wouldn't call it intimacy.
Or just like,
that was a scratch. You had an itch. I Okay. Just to clarify,
Okay.
when it's a hookup situation, I don't really consider intimacy.
Okay.
It's more of a mutual sexual exchange.
Okay.
Now, relationship wise, I do consider it intimate.
Okay.
But if it's just like a hookup situation, like it's just like it is what it is. Like you're here to get a nut, I'm here to get a nut. You know, like I said, mutual sexual exchange.
Yeah, cruising.
But relationship wise, it is because there's more layered factors to it, and there's a whole deeper, meaningful connections. I just wanted to throw that in there. Back to the question again. I'm sorry.
No, please. So the question is,
how many finished?
How many finish, and and if with the people who finish with the sexual exchange, that's a count. Whether it's a top, bottoming, aside.
80% finished.
Okay.
The other 20% was external factors.
Okay.
Their parents walked in. The car ran out of gas. The cops walked in on us. It was situations like that. It wasn't because we weren't able to finish the actual act. It was just because either external factors, like I'll give you one example. When I used to live in Queens a very long time ago, I hooked up with a sergeant. It led to like an 8-month relationship. I didn't know he was a sergeant until after he mentioned it, but we drove.
But must have the body, yaddy though.
I mean, yeah, it's much more complicated. Well, really? We'll get into the details afterwards.
Okay.
So it was Adam for Adam.
Of course.
I was living in College Point in Queens, and we spoke for a little bit, whatever. Then we had agreed to meet, hook up, whatever. So he actually picked me up, and we drove to the parking lots in Met Stadium.
Okay.
And then bada bing, bada boom in the car, and then the cops pulled up, and then he flashed the badge and then left us alone. And then I put two and two together, and I'm like, oh, so like I just hooked up with a cop. Like, are you gonna arrest me? No.
That'll be something. You're under arrest for sucking my dick.
Side story to that, basically. Side story to that. He had a habit of putting the gun underneath the mattress every time we had sex, and that shit used to make me so fucking paranoid.
Paranoid? That shit would have turned me the fuck on. Like, oh my gosh, could you take this gun out and just put it in my head saying, take it.
Put it on the counter. Put it on the fucking counter.
What?
Put the
True lies me. Tell me to spin on a pole while you're holding it on your lap. Like,
because I'm just picturing the mattress and the friction and then boom, 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 boom.
Tell me to Jamie Lee Curtis on the pole while you're holding that gun, Poppy. Like, what?
He was crazy though. He was crazy. He was probably a Gemini, but anyway. But yeah, the other 20 were because of external factors. Yeah. No, I'm just now I'm kind of like not really having flashbacks, but I'm looking back because a lot of the Okay, you keep doing this. I don't know why. Whatever. We have the video, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, I get it. Right, whatever. When I was younger, when I was having, I'm gonna write a book and I'm gonna call it When I Was Younger. Just like that's gonna be that one book I've been writing forever that I haven't finished the whole 44. Like when I was younger, it was either one or two things.
Okay.
Either I could host, which is what worked for me.
Of course.
Because, my mom would go to work from a certain time to a certain time. And then, like any person around my age, and, we would sneak them in, whatever, yada, yada.
Of course, yeah.
So and so, or if not, I would have to, go to them and meet them. But then being, 18, 20, 21, a lot of them, unless it was, the older guys, a lot of them pretty much did not. So it was the staircase or the basement,
of course,
or the old building where only senior citizens live. So pretty much we did it on the staircase.
The senior citizens is listen, that old lady with the golf balls on her walker is not gonna come down these steps, so we can get it on.
You know what's funny? The irony, kind of sort of irony, is that later on when I became an adult and I actually had my own place, it was harder.
Can we talk
Once
about
you
that?
got your place,
Can
then
we
what it was
talk
when you
about
didn't
that?
have your place. I was like,
Oh
wait, isn't it supposed to
my
be the
gosh, the
other way
opposite.
around?
Yo, it's like when just to dial back to, or just to agree with you, like when I was
I was like, I
younger,
have a place, you know,
like
like
I
come on
was
through.
traveling. I was like freaking Lord of the Ringsing like I did today to your place, like to people's
He
places.
keeps mentioning that. It's,
Like
it's not that far. Stop it.
well, the
Mount
trains was nice.
Doom.
The trains was actually really nice.
Exactly.
It
He
was nice
made
today.
Mount Doom, Mount Doom, Mount Doom.
But I would travel and I would like, take the risk of like saying, you know what, hey, and then I always imagine back when I was like after I started at 25, so 26, I was like, man, I want to get my own place. I'm gonna be like sexing like no one's business, of course. That's the dream.
Nope.
And then now that I officially have my own place, that's when everybody's hosting, and it's like, oh, do you want to come over? I was like, no.
Or it becomes a whole negotiating thing. Like I can
Right.
only do it for 20 minutes from the
Exactly.
hours of 2 to 4 Sundays and Tuesdays.
Exactly. Oh, I only have 30 minutes. Oh, I have to wake up early in the morning and catch a flight. And
15 is gonna take
oh,
me to get there.
yeah, it's gonna. And let's not forget the infamous. Oh, you want to pay for my Uber to come over here? You want to pay for my Lyft? I'll do mad crazy shit to that ass. Just like pay for my Lyft though.
Or the gas money. Or the gas money.
The gas.
Okay, let me correct myself. I still have the apps. I go on the apps, but I don't actively use the apps.
Okay,
It's more
that makes
for like
sense.
shits and giggles, just to see the stupid shit people are writing and just to see the people who are in the
Comical.
area.
It's almost cinema.
It really is, because I'm like, some of y'all
cinema.
is not that pretty to be acting the way y'all do, and some of y'all like is doing the most, and then those people with like the fucking book long intros.
I live for that. I want to say I really live for that.
Do you?
I really do, because they
I'm
really
not
took
reading all that
time.
shit.
They asked ChatGPT to make me more attractive and alluring, and so they copied
No.
and pasted over. So I'm interested
they
to
could
like.
have explained that in like 8
you know?
sentences, not a whole book, a whole soliloquy.
And then I was like, okay, you know what? This guy definitely used an AI to paint this
But
picture.
then it's always the same thing. Oh, I got my own, have your own, blah, blah, blah.
Of
I
course,
would understand
of
if at least
course.
it was some like Shakespearean. Okay, maybe my expectations are a little high, maybe, who knows. But it's always the same thing. It's always low-key shade. I got my stuff, so you better have your stuff. I don't do this. And then it'll be like a whole list of this, that. I don't do this. I do
Yeah,
that. This
no
is
fat,
cool.
no
This is
fans.
not cool. Yeah, you gotta have your own, so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh, look at that X. I forgot where I was going with this. So I have them.
But you don't use them as
I don't
actively
use
as they
them.
could. Yeah.
Like I said, I've been going through like this weird. I'm sexually bipolar situation right now, so I'm just kind of like staying away from that. Like 1 minute I want it, then 2 minutes I'm like no, then. But one thing I've encountered is a lot of them will hit you up, then they'll be like, like you said, like, oh, I'm gonna do this. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, but I'm out of gas. Can you send me whatever for gas money? I'm like, sir,
Exactly.
walk.
Just
You're
walk.
6 blocks away. You're fine.
Literally, it says on the app that we're just 1,000 feet from each other.
Walk.
1,000 feet's 5 minutes. You can speed walk to cut half the time.
Because if you ain't got the money to be hooking up, you shouldn't be hooking up.
Exactly.
To begin with. Like,
Exactly.
No. What are you gonna do that I can't do for myself, or that I can't do with the toys I purchased from Amazon? Get outta
Right,
here.
right. And it's like, and you know what? And the whole gas money, or pay for my Lyft, pay for my Uber, for what? It's like, if I'm paying for your Lyft and paying for your Uber, you better be magic miking inside my bedroom. Because if you coming in
better
just to
get
give me
pregnant
like,
with twins.
what? If you coming in with just like a 2 pumps and a swirl, and you're like, and it's like, yo, I didn't eat anything all day. Are you gonna pay for my lunch now that I pay for your Lyft?
There better be nothing left on that bed but like the leftovers of sweat and half of my body.
Listen, and and we're not. I mean, I understand. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like who has the most preparations is the top or bottom. So of course I'm gonna say bottoms, because or versus I should say at the matter, because like they have to. Not only do they have to do just prepare themselves, but they also have to equally perform as a top. So if anything, verse has a little bit more like expectations as opposed to the bottoms. Don't get me wrong. We do a lot. Already, we probably discussed before, like the whole time chart that we have. Like we can't eat things at certain times, and we just have to be ready at all times.
The
And
Haribo gummy bears are your best friends.
and what does the top has to do but show up with a hard dick and be able to like perform?
If they can even get there.
if it can even get there because perform anxiety, right?
Inside.
And then exactly, or there's a point that's like, they don't want to come too quick, so it's like they just like they stop. They, I don't know. They think about old ladies rubbing mayonnaise on their tits to get like soft again before they can go back.
Some people get off on that. But I've always attracted the crazies. So,
There's something about those crazies. Huh?
It is. They just look at me and they're like, you know what? He's into crazy. I'm gonna match this. I'm like, no. I'm retired. Like, no, I need plain basic wham bam. That's it. Like, no, I don't want to hang from the ceiling. I don't want to see the stars. Just no. I'm okay. Right. I'm all right. Maybe once a year, but. No.
And then also as well, it's like when you kind of like set the stage too, right? Let's just say, for example, look, I just want to slam bam, thank you, ma'am. The door's open. Just come in, do your business, and just go. But then you have those that's kind of like want to reenact like a TLC type of cool, like or like red light special, and they want to really like sensualize, like wait, look at me, and let's have passionate. No.
It depends.
Well, my thing is like if we agree, like and mind you, the preparation itself to get somebody over to your place, that's like a negotiation.
I mean, by that time you're
by itself.
tired.
I'm already tired. It took me 45 minutes of showing you illusion like aspects of myself or remnants of myself to be attracted to even come over here. But now that like you're here, you just kind of like want to flip the script after saying that agreeing as a 1, 2, 3, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. To like, oh yeah, let's get sensual. Let's like hug it out. Let's talk about each other's feelings. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, we can't do that. I mean, you could, slide across the floor with some boxes on and do a little shimmy, but we're not about to have a whole.
Like I understand, like especially when you don't have an outlet to where you can cuddle and kind of like speak with another guy in a sensual sense of what's kind of like on your mind and just like there is therapy for that.
I'm just
but
saying,
if you don't want to
use me as your comfort buddy, I'm charging.
if better health ain't given,
I
I am planning to do a cuddling business sooner than later. But if you like, let's say it's not available for therapy, right? I understand you want to take the space, especially after sharing each other, like to kind of like share what your thoughts and feelings. And I'm all for
get
that.
dressed and leave.
But then,
I'm sorry, get dressed and leave.
But if you're coming in expecting to give like this, the Skinamax satin sheets and the open window that's making the sheets wave, etc., that's not what's going to give. Especially with the bi-curious, the bi, I'm not sorry, not bi-curious, but the bis and the straight curious, the bikes, the bi and the straight curious, they don't want to be seen. I'm like, yo, mama, I'm on the second floor. No one with the binoculars is like freaking Nancy suing my apartment to see who's pounding my cheeks right now.
Not even that. When they show up and they're covered from head to toe, and then they got those dark ass
shades in the middle of the night.
And then even when you're getting it on, they still got the shades and the fucking balaclava on, and I'm like,
it's like, yo.
Like
I get the anonymous kink.
I'm like, just finish.
I get the anonymous kink. And if you want to borrow my mask, you borrow my mask. But there's no cameras. No one's watching you like that. No one's clocking you. And even if you are a celebrity or if you are someone that's like a influencer,
that's no one business but ours.
Right.
I know how to keep a secret.
and that's the thing. If anything, you should be the most comfortable with gay people because gay people are the ones who keeps the most secrets, unless, of course.
I was about to say.
Unless they have like,
There's some of y'all that don't know how to
Right. There's some of them that's like, oh, wait, like, I deal with this. Oh, I slept with this person. I slept with that person. But, we are coming to a place where we were closeted first as kids before we was able to be like, now as adults, like, okay, I understand you're in the closet, but I'm not gonna say anything. So you do what you gotta do, and that's 1, 2, 3.
That's a generational thing, though, because we came from like that generation where like our parents kind of like taught us not like necessarily speak when spoken to, but it was more like you don't need to go around telling everybody your business type of situation. Right. So we kind of
I don't kiss and tell.
Basically, so we grew up with that. It's like, okay, you know what you did. That's it. There's no need to go. So I think it has, well, at least in our case, since we come from
of course.
Back then it was more of that, because my mom used to be like, do you really need to tell everybody that?
Right,
good for you.
Yeah, don't kiss and tell.
She's like, you want a fucking cookie? I'm like, okay, you know what, mom, thanks. Psychological damage, emotional damage, mom.
Emotional damage. But like, I think it's like, with younger generations, I'll say, like, they are in a place where they need to be validated for every action that they do. So for them with their social
I
media,
don't get
yeah, they need the
that.
clout. They need that whole, hey, guess what I did, and
Yeah, good for
yay, oh my
you.
God, you did
Oh, you
it.
guys
Oh,
really
with
love
this
me.
celebrity, wow. Like no, it's like okay. So did you have to say that you got this daddy just kind of like milked your insides and just like call it a life? It's like it's a normal
Yes.
Tuesday, but yes, I have to
Yes.
say this on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, just to kind of like
Oh,
get
Twitter.
all eyes on
Twitter,
me. It's
Twitter, Twitter.
Twitter,
I can't.
aka X.
I had. I was just having
You
this
want to talk
conversation.
about love and hate relationship?
Oh my god! I was just talking to Dennis about this. No, I was talking to Dennis about this
You want to talk about love and hate relationship?
because I'm one of them people that's in the minority in regards to like TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah.
TikTok for me, my whole experience was it was pretty much an app for pedophiles.
Really?
Yes, I mean now it's kind of
Not
changed a little.
TikTok, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
TikTok when it first came out was pretty much it was weird because you had a lot of
Yeah, it was meant for kids.
yeah, you had a lot of kids doing
Yeah.
stuff, and you had these adults who might not have their best interests watching, jacking off to it, so on and so forth. And
Who's
then
that old guy again? I'm sorry not to cut you off. Who's that old guy again from Family Guy? That's
oh
like,
yeah.
oh, you wear the cover
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah, no. So you had like these grown ass men encouraging like 8, 9, 10-year-old girls to walk around in a bathing suit and take a video and all these other things. So, then it was really toxic because people were doing a lot of stupid shit. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go walk in traffic for attention. Like, okay, that's fucking nice. Like, damn, you're gonna have better to do with your life. So that was my main issue with TikTok. It's changed
Right,
a little
okay.
bit more because of Sosa, but
Right.
I'm still one of those people.
And could we take this moment to clarify for 2 seconds? Gays aren't pedophiles.
No,
We have no interest
children.
in kids or teenagers if they're not like wearing a harness with a full beard and grown at 6'2". That's past in our case, we would prefer older daddies, of course,
I
or
was
like
about
a
to
little.
say, you're kind of contradicting.
Or-
You're not helping the cause right now.
Well, I know, I'm sorry, but like the thing is, it's automatic. Like if you're gay, you
what
like
you meant is
kids,
consenting age.
right? Consenting age
Okay.
over the age of
There we go,
21.
'cause I'm like, wait. Have you seen some of these children that you be confusing? No, you have like these like 18, 19, 20 looking like they 40, 46, 60. I'm like, what struggle is she going through? Like,
I know.
What,
It's
what
like,
time
why
is
are
your
you
curfew?
looking older than me?
Like, why is
Yeah.
You look like you got 3 jobs and 10
Seriously.
kids, but you 18. Like, all you got to worry about is your homework and being on
Seriously.
the basketball team.
I went to a bar and there was like this 24-year-old, and then they was making a move on me, and I was like, all right, young buck, don't worry about me. It's like, young buck, shh. I was like, I'm older than you. It's like, oh yeah, how old do you think I am? And then when they heard it, I was 40. They was like, wow, you do not look I would not expect you to be 40. And I was like, yeah, I laugh, I enjoy life, and I'm relatively happy. What are you doing with your life?
We got that good genetics because even the nurse, when I was having the Luca freeze 2 weeks ago, asked me for my age. I'm like, how old do you think I am? He's like, like late 20s. I'm like, sir, I'm a whole 44 years old. No, he's like, oh, damn, you look like, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the beard. Who knows? Maybe it hides. I don't know. But no, we have good genetics.
Yeah, but we don't care about children. We don't want to do nothing.
No.
Listen, your little Timmy or your little Nancy can do what they want to do in the bathroom. We ain't creepers like that. We's like trying to,
No,
use
I
the bathroom and go.
We'd be the first one pulling them by the ear, like, get your ass home.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to call
The
your parents.
first
What
one.
is wrong with you?
And it's like I hate, like, especially now with the government thing that they did with the whole trans, where now you have to go based off of the the gender that you was born with. So now trans that were male trans to a female or male trans now have to use their respective reference. So now you have like male trans going to the female's restroom looking like a whole dude with a beard saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, ladies, gotta just use the bathroom real quick." And you have like these femme, beautiful, gorgeous trans women going to the men's room to like use the bathroom, and it's like, yo. And still, even when that happened, oh my gosh, but there's a possibility that this trans person is going to go and touch my child. No, the trans just want to use the bathroom like everybody else. Like, if you got to take a piss or shit, aren't you going to like go ahead and use the bathroom anyway? Listen, trans are not on that time.
Mind you, statistics shows
They're
that
not
most
on that
of
time.
child sexual abuse happens to be within the family. And out of 10 times it's usually
Uncle.
from a family member. Not.
Your touchy uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Your older cousin that's like
Mm-hmm.
30 and you're 13.
And gets away with it until
And
he
gets
got
away
shot.
with it.
And you went to the funeral and you weren't crying. Everybody's looking at you like, why aren't you crying? I'm like, because you fucking deserved it.
Right.
Because you know what he did.
Right. Or even
Flashback,
or
sorry.
even another flashback.
Sorry. No.
Or even like the religious.
I said what I said.
You said what you said. Listen, and you validated.
I said
you
what I said.
validated.
He deserved
Yes.
it.
He deserved it.
Turns out I wasn't the only one,
Mother
but
trucker.
apparently they
Damn, so
enjoyed
sorry.
it.
Not the only one.
No, I mean I don't know. I'm just kind of mad because I got the bad end of it because
Right.
the other. Okay, so basically, it was a. Wow, they're both dead. No, I'm sorry.
Bang bang.
Yeah,
shot you down,
2 for 1. So
bang, bang.
basically, my stepdad, his nephew, had a history of sexual assault and rape within certain family members. I was one of them when I was 7, but then apparently I wasn't the only one. It spread to one of my other cousins and then my 2 stepsisters. Apparently the cousin had an issue with it, but the stepsisters didn't. And it turned into like some weird incense type situation because then he was like a drug dealer. He had money and so on and so forth.
I see.
So basically, he had them financially set as long as they continue to have those.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm like, damn, I got the bad end of it because I didn't get shit. But anyway, eventually, that thug life caught up to him. He ended up getting gunned down and they had a whole big thing because, to be fair, even though he lived a life that I wouldn't exactly consider to be ethical, but what is ethics? Even though he was like a big drug lord or whatever, he did get back to the community.
Big drug lord?
This was
Like Al Pacino type?
This was 1990s, so it was
Godfather type?
yeah. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah, he gave back to the community. So when they had the funeral, I was not the least bit moved because I still had that trauma, and I'm just looking at the, corpse with like the 32 bullets in it, like, bitch. My other cousin, the other one that was also, sexually assaulted or whatever, was kind of like looking at him the same way, and then the other 2 were like crying for him, and I'm like, yeah, some fucking bitches. But anyway,
so was there a part of you that's kind of like was relieved when you saw him kind of like gone, or how was some of the emotions and feelings that you was going through seeing him?
I was just like, you got what you deserve. I mean, that was it.
Okay.
There was nothing I could do at that point in time when it happened, so someone else did it for me. Not that I would have done it that way, but
so if you had like any last, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, you can speak to him right now. If he has any last words that you wanted to say to him before he had passed, what would it be?
There'd be no speaking.
There'll be no speaking?
No
last words? No kind of like...
No, because I'll finish the job.
You said you'll finish the job.
It'll be like one of those psychological movies where like they end up trapping the person that sexually assaulted them, and then they
it's like Sucker Punch.
Yeah, and then they get like 2 big brolic like to go and see how they like it. But anyway,
And also, I was about to mention as well, like
it was a dark time. I had a lot of rage, and it's not
As
like my
should.
normal character to have thoughts like that and so on and so forth. But
listen, your character, their boundaries was crossed in a very violated way. So yeah,
I was 7, so it's like whatever.
No.
I mean, it's not right. It doesn't.
I
make
mean,
it right,
of course, it
but
doesn't make it right, but at the same time, all emotion, regardless the age, is valid. Like even angry at 7 or angry at 10 is like, yeah, that should still count and be taken as seriously as though you're angry at like your current age right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's dead, so whatever.
but then how did you deal with that trauma? Did you how did you do the healing from the child?
I don't think there was, because then I kind of had that same talk with my therapist when it came up in sessions or whatever, and I don't think there was like any long lasting. It was like one of those things where like it happened. I could not do anything about it. So it happened as many times as it did.
Mm-hmm.
I was in no position or age to fight back or defend myself. I
Okay.
guess he got what he wanted out of it, and later on, he got what he deserved, and that was that. But it's not like it led to um, anything like intimacy issues or trust, or I have flashbacks about it, or so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it excuses what he did, but it was just one of those things like it happened. There was nothing I could do about it. It stopped eventually. We all moved on, and like I keep repeating, he got what he deserved. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's no emotions of like taking the time to heal that inner child at 7 that couldn't defend themselves. Like you
No.
kind of like didn't revisit and got that 7-year-old self from him and defended you. Kind of like pull him back and say, "Don't worry, I got you."
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I mean, it happened. We move on.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not like it led to anything. Like I don't have any long-lasting psychological or emotional scars out of it. Shit. I had motherfuckers that stood me up that left longer lasting scars than that whole situation. Like this motherfucker, I spent 2 hours getting ready. I cooked and everything. You didn't even show up. No, how fucking dare you? No.
Yeah. And by the way, for anybody that's happened to be tops or like verse tops or verses that decides to stand up or goes to bottom because, you know, you just had too much to eat or too much to drink, or you just wasn't feeling the aesthetics of how they're looking, just wanted you to say that, you know, those bottoms that went, they didn't eat anything all day. They was thinking about it.
You's a bitch.
Well, you had your reasons.
I think I might turn the desk this way.
It looked nice that way. You had
Yeah,
your
it does, because
reasons.
it's kind of weird. Because since you guys are talking and it's facing like I have to turn this way to face you guys, and then the mic is like so. But whatever,
I'm
we'll do
talking
that.
to those tops.
Exactly.
You had your reasons,
Exactly.
and just let you know that bottom slept hungry and horny because you didn't want
let's
to come
talk
by.
about it, because it sounds like
and
you're
do the deed.
traumatized.
Listen, Dexter. I mean, you and I both could relate when we had like the tops that we were anticipating, and who knows, they probably
You know
photoshopped their
what?
penis, but like the fact that we got ready. And it's not to say that when we do, I mean, doing it can be enjoyable, like douching, but at the same time, there's a bit of an uncomfortableness because, like, your body's confused. Like, what the fuck? You're not eating? Like, what the fuck? You're not eating? We're hungry, though. And you're expecting them to show up. It's like, oh, don't worry about it, but though we're not eating, but when they come in, they're going to do the wham bam. It's going to be really great.
You're just ravenous.
And it doesn't happen.
That's what you just
It's either it doesn't happen, they ghost you, they don't even give you the courtesy of saying I can't make it, or if they do show up, Missy Elliott, 1 Minute Man. You look like, what was the intro for 1 Minute Man? It was like it's $60 a minute, but you look like a $5. It's like, thank you, I'll be right back.
I consider it an occupational hazard at this point in time. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first, like 4, 6, maybe, yeah, like the first 6 times it happened. I was.
It happens often,
I was going through like this motherfucker. How fucking dare he?
right?
But then after that, if I guess. Low key, not really conditioning, but when you're on the apps long enough, and when you've been, that's not how I want to say that, but when you've been hooking up and in that whole
hookup culture
for a while, there's certain things that you come to expect, and there's certain things that you are just kind of like common. So that's like one of them. So like I said, after the 6th one, I was like, oh well, you know, at least if later on something happens, at least I'll be ready. But you know, like I wasn't expecting, you know, like it would have been nice, but it is what it is. Here we are. Here we are.
I heard something interesting on social media platform Instagram.
What did you hear?
And they said that how, you know, for us millennials, like we're looking for 90s love in a 2025 hookup culture, and that's the reason why we're single the majority of the time.
I'm looking for love. I don't care where I'm at. I'm the fucking antichrist. I don't need love.
You don't need love, son?
No,
sorry,
I don't.
Dexter. You don't need love.
I don't want to keep
You
it
don't
to
want
yourself. I'm okay.
Keep it yourself.
I got a sex spot. I'm good.
Yeah.
Cost me $6,000, but actually no, I don't have one.
I actually really hope that like the game
I
to
was,
be. Oh, I'm sorry. You just want to say
no,
something?
I thought you really hoped I had one.
No, no. So this is a video game for my gamers out there called Detroit Being Human. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so in the video game, Detroit is pretty much like androids. It's kind of like this one android,
Oh,
kind of like
shit,
kind of like
message.
what you call it, kind of goes against the program, and it's like to start doing things on their own. But in the same sense, like these cyborgs, not cyborgs, so cyborgs is half human, half machine, but these androids are kind of like human-like and very sexy. And so like one of the androids that's taking care of an old man, the chocolate one, that's like picks up the old man, washes, bathing him, and coming back. I believe it's like, I forgot the name of the actor. He's on Grey's Anatomy, but anyways, a lot of times we're like, especially when it comes to the point of like love and do we need it, and are we really like desensitized when it comes to actually being in an authentic relationship, it's like, what, I'm pretty good if I have like an android like like the chocolate one. Exactly. Listen, I'm pretty sure we're getting there faster than what we expected to be, but the second I get myself an android that's like 6'2", doesn't have to be 6'2", could be 5'10" or under.
I mean, listen,
but if you're
I'm
6'2",
don't knock it
big,
till you try
big
it.
muscular android, and you are like programmed to fulfill my needs. I don't need nobody. I think sex will be like right now. It's funny because we was talking about sex earlier. It's like, oh, these guys ain't really giving like they used to give before in the past. But I believe like when it comes to the point that AI is implemented to like a cyborg setting to where like they have the same anatomies and kind of like human-like features to do the deed, that sex would be better with an AI than it actually would be with a human. Agree or disagree?
I just needed to stay and just back. I don't really need. I just needed to do the basic.
Just stand still and you just back it up on it.
Like, seriously, at this point in time, I'm just like so detached. I really am. I don't know what happened along my wonderful journey across the stars, where everything just went pitch black, and I stared at the darkness, and I whispered, and it whispered back, and it gave me a hug, and I was like, "Hey, hello, darkness, my old friend." But I just don't.
That's from Frederick Nietzsche, by the way, right?
Yeah.
If you stare into the abyss too long, you start becoming.
Yeah. To the point where like, no, I'm okay. I'm fine, and I know it tends to like trigger people and bother people because they're like, life without love and blah blah blah. Like, listen, this is not Moulin Rouge, okay? You and the good girl. A life without Satine. A life without love is not,
My gift is my
exactly.
soul.
I'm just it just doesn't do it for me. I mean, not that I'm like closing myself off permanently to the possibility of that, like
right.
there is, but I have no interest in it, or am I looking for it? And that's fine.
Like the 20-year-olds. Oh my gosh, 20-year-olds. Let me tell you something.
They just want attention.
20-year-olds. Let me tell you something.
They just want to be babied.
From the age of 21 to 29. Let me ask. No, not ask. But let me tell you guys. I know you guys really want to be in a relationship, and I know you guys feel like being in a relationship is really going to like put two pieces of the puzzles together. It's not. Like, we just want to get, like, I understand that you need that human connection to kind of understand like where you are in the world. But just know that you are everything, and you don't need to be validated as far as your actions, emotions into a relationship. Because what ends up happening is that you're going to end up trying to rediscover yourself and ask yourself, well, where did I lose myself in this whole relationship? And when did I just start caring about the other person who's not giving me the attention than back when I was giving myself the attention? And it's like, yo, just go and do what you want to do, boo. If you want to open a business, if you want to go ahead and be an entrepreneur and influencer, please don't get discouraged and feel like you have to be in a relationship in order to make this thing happen. It will happen eventually, but you don't have to validate yourself and your well-being while being in a relationship.
Damn, nigga, the fuck? You just...
No, I just
like,
have to...
Did that come from somewhere deep down inside your soul?
No, because I was...
Did marbles hurt you?
No, marbles hurt. Yeah, marbles definitely got me.
Like, really, like...
Because like it's
bullet point direct, like
it's almost templated, like in a sense, right?
What 20-year-old screwed you over? No
20-year-old screwed me over. God, please no. But no 20-year-old screwed me over.
24?
It's just like it's when I said it's like it's templated. It's like as though like we've been kind of like concealing ourselves of homosexuality because we're scared of being outed. And once we actually reach the point now, which has always been accepted, actually, to the point that we're now able to express our sexuality, and now we just kind of like want to validate our homosexuality. Yeah.
Especially with the younger one, you don't think it's more about roles and wanting to
No.
be with a nigga, for lack of better
No.
terms,
No.
as
No. No.
opposed
No.
to being with, like, for example, someone of Terry's caliber.
No. I
Not
just.
that I'm picking on Terry, just using an example.
No, there's a lot of time is like, I understand like the family dynamic is difficult, especially if you're kind of like if you don't have like a kind of like a gay what's that word I'm trying to look for, like a confidant or something, or somebody you can kind of like talk to, like a gay old wisdom person that can share
What was
like
your
life to
dynamic
you.
like?
What's my family dynamic?
Yeah, because my mom.
Let's see. My family dynamic. I was the
I mean,
youngest
do we have
son.
time for coming out stories or no?
I mean, do we have time for time?
I
You
mean,
tell me.
we got like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, this is gonna be
Okay.
super quick. So pretty much, as far as my family dynamic, I had like about two.
Like these chairs recline. You can't see my face though, but that's
It's
just.
fine. You look great.
Turn this way. There we go.
And turn the nice.
Oh my god, you probably hear all that background noise.
No,
Boom,
no, you
boom,
good.
boom, boom. Okay. You
Yeah.
still can't see my face, but whatever, it's fine. All right, we're gonna do quick coming out stories.
All right, quick coming out stories. I had
Cue the balance.
two older brothers, one younger sister, and Caribbean parents from the
I
islands
remember,
of the St.
yeah,
Vincent.
because they were like the straightest of straight.
Of course,
to the point where
everybody in
you
my family was straight. I was like, I felt like I was the weird black sheep because I was the only gay one in my family, and so I think I told you this before in the last episode that like
You
I
briefly
thought,
mentioned that, yeah.
I thought that honestly is like the second I get enough money, which I thought like my high school checks. When I say high school checks, like I did an after school program, which I was like cooking for like events and stuff like that, and I got my measly $500, and I said, okay, I can live on my own now.
500 was 500.
500 back
500 back in the back
early
in our time,
2000s.
yeah,
Listen,
Oof.
moving on up, moving on up. So after I got my 500, I told, that's when I came out to my family, like, listen, I'm gay. I love.
yeah, I got money.
I love myself, and if you guys can't accept me for who I am, then I have no problems of leaving and just wishing you guys the best. And so, and then when I told them that, that's when they just like, oh no, we love you, we accept you, da, 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 and all that other sense being. But at the same time, it's like, imagine I came out to them like when I was somebody's, I don't know, I want to say like maybe it's like 17, 18 years old.
Okay.
So that's like being at the age of like 5, knowing that I was gay at the age of 5, on some. Okay, wait, but there's another gay person, right? I like the same sex. I like just guys. I don't want to.
Boys.
I like boys. Like
Boys
when I was a
who
kid.
like
When I was a
boys.
kid, it was like innocently, of course, like boys. I like my best. Not my best friend, but I like this guy.
There
This
was
boy.
no sexual deviancy.
Right, but I just love to be with around them, and then it got kind of like on a sexual cue when I started like middle school. Then I was like, oh, I really like this boy. Like I really want to like get with them, and
Like,
then
do I want to kiss them?
right, I
Hug
want to
them,
experiment. Like I
hug
want to,
them?
how's it like to touch them? How's it like to feel them? How's it like to kiss them? And then when I got to high school, it was like, holy shit, yeah, this is like
Hold
I
it, Javon,
am
hold
right
it.
going through puberty, and I just want to get pounded by.
Oh, okay, wow.
Right, and it started like to like fester and grow, and then like all at the same time I'm like concealing myself and hiding because it's like it's considered to be unnormal, and oh, you're a bati boy, and oh, if you come out to your parents and then you're gonna get kicked out. Because I was out in high school, a lot of the people who came out to their family, they were kicked out, and they came into the same clothing, and they were, unfortunately, they couldn't keep up with the hygiene, and they had to go to like not Union Square, the village, to find means of sex working, to like find a place to live or to rent out a hotel. And so that's why I thought to myself, let me just save up my little coins, my $500, so I just wouldn't have to worry about this happening to me if they decide to kick me out.
Sucky $5.
Sucky. Well,
Rasheed was standing on the corner of 14th Street. Is that how you ended up working at Virgin? They're like, you know what, sir? I'll give you a job. You don't
I
have to sell.
love Virgin
You don't have to
Records.
sell yourself.
Oh, my
at
Virgin
Union
family
Square
out
Park.
there. I love you guys. I love each and
We'll
every one
give
of
you
you
a
guys.
job here. It's okay. You can stop.
I
selling that
love
pussy.
Virgin so much. I miss that place so badly. But before Virgin Records, I was working at the Regal Theater on 14th Street, Union Square, and
Yes.
also I worked at the one on 42nd Street as well. So it was actually, yeah, it was really great.
I think that's when I met you.
You met me when I was working at Virgin. Yeah, and we had like a mutual friend, Teddy.
Yeah, but I think you were transitioning from Vigo to
Yeah,
Virgin.
to Virgin,
And then we
right?
officially became friends when you were at
At
Virgin.
Virgin, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Virgin Megastar.
I know, with the little 3 for 10.
3 for 10. And you get the rate the listening stations that you can listen to the
And they
music.
had the little PlayStation games for
Yes, you go
$10.
downstairs in the humongous television
Uh,
that was showing the
uh,
movie on the big screen.
then they had the multiple levels.
Yeah, and the multiple levels. Oh, and they had a movie theater in the one on 42nd Street
Mm-hmm.
down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then Tower Records on a little bit further down
Right,
8th,
right.
and
Oh my gosh.
every time Kylie Dido put out an album, I'm like, I'm here.
We're gonna make our dreams
Number one
come
fan,
true.
number one fan coming
Doing
through.
it our
Move,
way.
move, move. My coming out story is a little bit it's more sad. It's like in your case, I knew what it was before it was. So it's funny because for whatever reason I decided to tell my mom, because I'm like, okay, I think I know which one I like more, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. So I remember I told her I had to tell her something, and then I was like a little emotional about it, so I put on some glasses just because I thought I was gonna start crying, whatever.
Okay.
So I wrote down on a piece of paper, I'm gay. Then I gave her the piece of paper, and then she looked at it, and then she fucking spazzed out. And then yeah, she spazzed out. She's like, what? This ain't right. I didn't raise no daughter. I raised a son. How could you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. She went ballistic. I ended up leaving. It was kind of like 50%. She kind of sort of kicked me out without kicking me out. And 50% I just ended up leaving because I didn't want to be in that space anymore. And it wasn't until way later on in life that she still doesn't accept it, but at least now she respects it enough to be like, there's nothing I can do about that. That's his decision. That's how he's gonna live his life. But she still doesn't accept it. I don't know. She could say she does, but I know she doesn't.
Is by any chance there a party that kind of believes that she's kind of like she went ballistic and went all condescending because she was a little worried on how she was going to be able to like support you or protect you, knowing that you was gay and being that everything was coming out.
Was she? Have you met my mom? You know
Briefly,
know the intensive history between the war that is being my mom. You do remember this is the same woman with the substance abuse and the addiction and everything else and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Not that I'm gonna throw her under the bus like that, but this is the same woman that I had to take therapy for. This is the same woman that has caused a whole bunch of the shit I'm going through now. So no. I mean, I don't blame her. She was born in '67, so she comes from an era that was different. Okay. I guess maybe that's why it was slightly easier for me to not be as mad as her for it, because I'm like, you come from an era where like this wasn't kind of like standard for you guys. So I know that you're coming from a particular set of cultural norms and so on and so forth that did not reflect to 2001. So it made it a little bit less easier for me to be less angry and less hateful towards her. It didn't mean that it didn't hurt less or more, but I was like, okay, you know what, it is what it is. It's not like you've been a mom anyway, so whatever. But
So if you could kind of like let's say, like, even though it already happened, but reenact it.
Thing again?
No, I was asking you a question. If you could just like reenact the whole coming out, what would have been the more approachable or acceptable way? Like, what would be the ideal response that you want your mom to say after receiving that piece of paper?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Like, make it Hollywood. Like,
no, I would have been okay. Either or. I'm very fidgety with that. It's kind of like one of those same things that people told me if you could go back in time or read. I'm like, no, I'm okay. No, because it wouldn't have gone any other way. Considering the point in time what was happening, who was there, so on and so forth, I don't think it would have gone a different point away. She's a Leo. She's a Leo,
Very
and
prideful.
she's pretty much intent on, like, I know how she is, so
Mm.
it wouldn't have turned out any other way. I guess maybe uh, more I don't accept it, but I respect it at that point in time, and not way later on when I became an adult at like 34, 36.
Okay.
Would have been a little bit easier or better, but I don't think it would have, or I would have
Mm.
wanted it to be different. I mean, it is what it is. It happened. I'm not about to do a whole Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, and go back in
I mean,
time
why not?
and try to see the
But
different.
have you ever tried a Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger?
No, it's okay. There's just certain
But
things.
what's
There's certain things I feel are finite and are
okay?
meant to go a certain way. There's certain things that later on branch out and could have had um, different possibilities, but that particular thing was a canon event. that was a canon event.
Okay. Would it have been better if she was more acceptive? Like, would you feel like you wouldn't have to, let's say, gone through the things that you've gone through
No,
if she had been more like accepted or
no.
accessible to the
Because later
you
on I
coming
thought
out?
about it, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Because then I
Okay.
wouldn't have been as resilient and stronger as I was later on. Granted, it did make me a little too tough, but
What's too tough?
it is what it is. A part of the whole detachment and lack of PDA and me not believing in love, and so it relates not to that one particular moment,
Okay.
but to my relationship to my mom and the relationships that she had, and what I saw the women in my family doing at that point in time. Not to, well, it didn't really matter. I mean, because technically, I was a single parent child up until 1990. Then she had my sister. Then during, before, and after my sister, she was with my stepdad. But then he ended up going to jail because drugs and being Tony Montana was like the popular thing at that point in time. Um, so he went to jail. While he was in jail, she fucked around, which I didn't blame her because I think he did like 20 years or something, 10 years. I can't remember the exact number of years he did. But he was gone for a very long time. And I'm like, listen, I don't blame you. I know that coochie itching right now. Get that tuna. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. Sorry, Mama. But, get that tuna.
We all need a good plumber that can lead the pipes.
You know. Then he got released. He came back. He was with us for a while. But once again, my relationship with him was strained.
Not
Me and him
strange.
did not get strained.
Strained. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
We did not get along. And there was just a lot of things he did that I did not agree with, especially the whole drugs thing and so on and so forth. And he was very he just wasn't a good dad. Not to me, at least. My sister got lucky because she got both parents. I didn't.
Did he give back to the community?
No. But he did end up getting cancer and died from cancer.
Wow.
No. He deserved it too.
Okay.
But then again, my mom did that to herself because she decided to stick with him even though he was abusive and treating her wrong and pretty much continuing her drug habit, to then go on have an affair like 6 times and then have a whole child out of wedlock, but one of your coworkers not tell you about it, and you only find out about it when you go to his funeral. But anyway, moving on.
So that means you have 2 younger siblings.
Yes. Well, technically he has 9, including my sister,
Okay.
and one
Oh.
more.
Okay.
My sister is the only one he had with my mom. And my sister is the only one he actually got to quote unquote raise,
Gotcha.
which is why a lot of my sister's siblings hate her, because she's the one that got to grow up with him. All the other ones, he pretty much left. He pretty much threw them
So
to the wind.
with the coworker, was that the stepdad or?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
So basically, we had a family business. We're almost out of. Well, we've been out of time, but it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. So we had a hair salon in Yonkers. I mean,
Okay.
at this point in time, If you know, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they want to catch me outside, but like, I know you're not talking shit about me. Let's do it. But I said I would be 100% honest for the podcast. So
Mm.
we had a family business. It was a hair salon in Yonkers. It passed through different. First, my grandfather owned it. My mom's dad. Then it went on to the oldest aunt. Then it passed on to my mom. Then it passed on to the middle sister. And then after that, it just like kind of like fell apart. I forget where I was going with this, but pretty much they all worked there, and the staff pretty much was the same staff forever. One lady they were friends with since they were kids in DR, so she was like a family friend. Then there was another. I'm not gonna use names because that's a little too much. But there was, we'll call her Annie because she had orange hair, like little
Yes,
orphan Annie.
okay.
Yeah. She was a little on the chunky side, but she was the one that he had the affair with after the cancer. So he probably has a cancer kid out there. No, let me stop. No, it was just like, oh, hey, girl. No, he was fucking a nigga with cancer, unprotected the whole time, and had a whole kid and everything, and then
Oh,
bring him to the
wow.
funeral like it's nothing. But you know what? My mom did that shit to herself because I told her, everybody told her, you wanted to stick by this man that did no good for you. So you know what? And that's the funny thing. When he died, he left her with nothing. Nothing. And his whole family turned against her, was like, you ain't getting shit. And I'm like, mm-hmm. But yeah.
What's the dynamic like today with you and mom?
Me and mom,
Yeah. Do you guys talk, or have you spoken to her, or
like once every 4 months.
once every 4 months? Okay.
Like once every 4 months.
Okay.
Have once quarterly,
Quarterly.
just like I do my doctor business.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No, we talk,
Hmm.
but I had to set boundaries because I think the one thing she doesn't understand is that she did more bad than good
Mm.
when it came to me and my sister, and it doesn't register in her head because in her head she sees herself as the ideal parent that did what a parent was supposed to do. But me and my sister lived through it, and I mean, granted, she did have her good moments. For the most part, they were more bad than good. So it's at a point in time where like we tried to explain to her the situation, and she doesn't see it that way. So
Of course.
I just have to
Kind of like radical acceptance.
yeah. So I just kind of like usually my sister keeps me not keeps me in touch, keeps me updated. But no, honestly, I know it sounds bad, but like every 4 months, I'll do a quick check-in, and I'm like, okay, bye, I gotta go. You're alive, cool. You need anything? I'll send you your weekly and your monthly stipend. Bye.
Okay.
Let me know if you need anything.
And what about your sister? How's that like?
She bougie now.
Okay.
She moved to Poughkeepsie,
Oh, Poughkeepsie.
so she's
Oh, excuse me,
living
Mom.
she's living a Poughkeepsie life now.
Okay.
She's like, girl, let me tell you, I went out with my friend with these white people, and they paid for everything. And I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, okay.
She's
So
exotic.
now now she's like this. She's the token, a DEI friend now. So
Right.
they're just eating it up, and I'm like, listen, enjoy it while it lasts. Get that
Enjoy it
free
while it
steak and
lasts.
lobsters.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm not mad at you. Go ahead. That's like, we get along.
Okay.
We get along. I think unlike my mom, she just kind of like accepted my ways and how I am, and the fact that like I have very not really strict boundaries, but I have boundaries in place, and I don't like being bothered. And if I need to talk to you about something, I will reach out and talk to you about something. Don't call me 20 times. If you call me once and I don't answer, don't call me 6 times, because then I'm just going to block you. So we're at a point where we kind of understand each other more than what we used to, because, just not like but me and her, we had certain things where we kind of went through a phase where like I don't think she realized that she was taking advantage of me and my mom, and I don't think she realized that what she was doing was pretty much exploiting us. But then again, she had her whole character development story, which has something to do with it. But
Mhm.
I mean, we're okay. I mean, we're not like the best, but you know, we keep in touch and everything. You know, it's not like I want to run her over with a car or anything.
Okay.
Or wouldn't call her on her birthday.
Alrighty. Well, I know. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And
Whatever,
I know it's a
therapist.
lot. But how are
You're
you?
just getting the tea.
No, how are you?
I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm alive.
That was a lot.
What?
No,
That's standard. Like you mean?
I mean, no. I mean, like
that's just 10 minutes of 44 years.
that's just an icing on the cake for a regular millennial.
That's the epilogue. That's not even. That's just like the one day I was out looking at the stars, and I remember this one memory where, you know, me and that twat of a sister of mine. Coming soon to iTunes, Audible, and what is it, Kindle?
Kindle, Audible, whichever one both works. Actually.
No, I don't. I've learned to process things better. I'm not as prone to violence as I was. Well, hold on, let me rephrase that. I'm not as destructive and reckless as I was back then. I mean, I kind of sort of still am in certain ways, but I'm not as reckless and destructive as I was back then. Sure, my therapist will agree, even though she told me I'm not allowed to smoke in sessions, but whatever. We gotta talk about that next episode.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna take a quick break. Yay for episode 1. I gotta go figure out what's wrong with this damn thing. Hopefully it'll save. Let me go scream at Sosa for not showing up.
Better be careful with the score.